is just to be me, 'cause what I feel is free. And I don't always wanna watch what I'm eating, 'cause chocolate gets the best of me. And if I ride my bike, it's to get from A to B. Yeah.
Hi, this is Macy from the Love Advantage and Love Vibe TV, and this week I am out of the Love Advantage headquarters and on a patio at the Waking the Dreamer Within Festival, where I taught my Playing into the Love Life of Your Dreams workshop yesterday, which was so fun. Really literally dancing and creating and exploring and uncovering the pains and blocks that keep us from love, and a really powerful process. And today I want to share with you this week's episode, which is about rejection. And I'm sharing this because this is something I experienced this week personally, and it brought up tons of emotion. And rejection is not limited to our love life. And we talk about it a lot because there's a lot of women don't even want to date because they're so afraid of being rejected, or even they're not comfortable with wanting to reject another person or tell them this isn't a match. Like, I've seen that as being a big fear for people in their love life. And if you have any of that happening, then it's really going to make your experience uncomfortable, fearful, or non-existent. So the key point that I want to share this week, because there's so much that we can talk about on the topic of rejection, is that there really is some hard emotion that comes with this. I don't want to deny this anymore. I mean, we're talking like anger, heartbreak, just even rage. And I found myself really upset this week, crying and screaming just to try to let it out. And what I know that has been true for me in the past is that I just don't even want to go there. Like, I know I feel bad. I know I felt hurt, but I don't really want to touch in on those emotions. And that is the critical thing here, because we have to develop some presence for these emotions and cultivate the compassion that we are willing to go there with ourselves. And as I've noticed and was made aware to me this week by one of the facilitators at this conference, I thought this was really profound, was that as spiritual people, we have the consciousness and awareness that says, yeah, things aren't aligned. Okay, I'm feeling really uncomfortable. But oftentimes we want to skip the part where we sit with the uncomfortable experience. And that was my decision point this week. Like, I'm frustrated, like I'm having these reactions. Now what? So, with the encouragement and support of my community, I chose to express my emotions. So I wrote about it, I screamed my guts out and cried my eyes out in the car, like just sobbing and snotting and like really, really getting ugly with it. But it's releasing, it's moving. We want that movement. Ultimately, that's what this experience is about, is when we are, coming up to something difficult, not moving away, not avoiding, not hiding, not trying to squash it somewhere else or put a big red bow on it or sprinkle it with glitter or glue fur on it. Those things are things I would want to do. Instead, we want to express it. And I'll tell you that even in expressing it and, really letting it out in the car and through other techniques, I still felt it today. And so then it's just asking for a little more attention. I mean, all of our emotions are really inviting in as the motorcycles drive by. That's what I felt like. You see that grumbling? That grumble was really like, that was really helpful actually, just feeling even that ground vibrating and the reverberation in my ears. I mean, that is like, it's the frequency that I was letting out yesterday. But what I was saying was that, I was still feeling it today, and so it just needed more love. It needed more attention. It had more to say. And sometimes it's really like having a dialogue with that emotion. So this is a critical part of what rejection is. And I know I've said in the past that part of dating is including that you will experience rejection. It's not just one or two people, it's all of us. There's the experiencing of rejection is just part of the relationship process, and to expect it. And that certainly doesn't make it any easier necessarily, but that is just the honest piece. And sometimes I think when we normalize it and say, well, okay, if I am looking for love, then I want to be prepared for this aspect of it. Because rejection is not limited to relationships. Rejection is something that comes with everything that we do, whether it's in our work or with our bodies or with our friends. Rejection happens. And so to say that I am not going to date or be in a relationship so that I don't have to experience rejection is just a total lie, because it's going to happen anyway in other areas of your life. So let's figure out what this is and develop a relationship with it. Today, really, I just want to acknowledge that if you are not wanting to date because you're afraid of rejection or afraid of rejecting other people, or if you've had such painful rejection in the past that all you can see in the future is that you'll just get rejected again, then that tells me that there's probably some emotion that has not been processed. So this is a wake-up call to say, what is it that I need to do to heal in my life so that I can be open to love? And because those wounds reverberate on until you get the message. So that is really just kind of something to ponder for you. Like, is this true for you? Are you really like struggling with this concept of rejection Does it rule you? Does it limit you? Is it keeping you from what it is you really want? And at some point, once you can kind of bring attention to it, then you can invite forward tools and techniques and strategies that help you disperse the anger or the sadness or the grief that came with that. And certainly in a lot of the Love Advantage and Love Vibe TV episodes, I have offered different ways to do that, but certainly it's about getting in your body, Kundalini yoga, all sorts of practices. But in this episode, I just really want you to know, is this me? Is this true for me? Am I limiting my love life because I'm afraid of rejection? 2, am I still hanging on to old pains from past relationships that make it really hard to be present and move forward? And am I willing to do something about this? One of the other lessons I learned this weekend was that willingness, just being willing, is a frequency on the energy scale that is really on the cusp of, those darker emotions and being able to expand and transform. So it's a powerful emotion to be in. So that feeling of willingness is important. So if you're willing to do something different, I invite you to consider, how can I get that support to heal these things so that I can have the kind of relationship that my heart longs for? Because when you can get to that place where your vision of love, which is what we talked about in the last week's episode, is like creating that amazing vision of love. When that is so big, so powerful, so exciting, like you can just imagine cuddling with your sweetie, and you can imagine so viscerally what it's like to have that meaningful, blissful, supporting companionship, then that can become so big that then you can navigate dating in a whole new way because you're so inspired. And then when you meet someone who's not a right match, or someone blows you off or doesn't show up, you're not taking it personally. You know that your highest good is in this vision, and that everything will fall together just right and in that perfect timing. And you feel that really deeply. And that is what can truly help you get to that big, happy love that's in your heart. So if you found this helpful, please post your comments below and share with me maybe some of the strategies that you use to diffuse difficult emotions. And I would love to hear that, because you're sharing your experience is something that will help someone else. And that's what this community really is about. It's about coming together and elevating each other so that we can just create more love in the world. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
All I want is just to be me, 'cause what I feel is free. And I don't always wanna watch what I'm eating, 'cause chocolate gets the...
Cheers.
Cheers. That's great. So it's mostly celery and cucumber, and 2 carrots, because I didn't want too much sugar, and ginger.
So good.
I like the too much carrots. Just kind of, it just makes it so sweet, and I'm trying to stay away from sugar. So I really like it, just mostly cucumber.
So refreshing. Like you're feeling the prana of the vegetables.
And there's just enough carrot to give you the juice mustache. Do I have a mustache?
Give you the juice
Yeah, yeah.
mustache.